All right, so folks, we're here with Mike from Spyderco. Mike, thank you so much.
My
This is for
pleasure.
Jimbo himself right
Thank you
there.
very much. I appreciate
That
it.
is
Good to be here.
absolutely my favorite model you guys have ever made. I,
Oh,
I love it. We're not going to talk about it today, though.
we can.
We can
Okay.
because it's beautiful, and I love the micro Jimbo, the Jumbo, the whole series. It just works. It just fits. I
Thank
love
you.
it. I want to talk first, though. You guys won an award this year for Blade Show Most Innovative right here.
Yes.
This is an interesting kind of remake of something that you guys have been making for a long time.
Absolutely. So what it is, our Salt series really set the standard over 20 years ago as far as ultra corrosion resistant knives. So what this is taking one of our most iconic models, the Paramilitary 2, upgrading that with one of the hottest steels in the world today, CPM MagnaCut, and creating the Salt, the Paramilitary 2 Salt. So in our testing, when we got MagnaCut at first, when we got that from Crucible, we put it through our own in-house testing. Did lots of rigorous tests as far as edge retention and everything else. When we got to the point of doing the corrosion resistance testing, Laren Thomas, he said, yeah, it's really corrosion resistant. It's up there with some of the best. We found that based on our testing and based on our standards, that it is worthy of inclusion in our salt line.
Wow.
So once we realized that, we said, hey, here's a great super hot steel. Let's take that, supercharge the Paramilitary 2 platform and create something where you have all the features and benefits that people love about the Para 2, but in a salt format.
Yeah.
So one of the things we've added to it as well is what we call our Caribbean bidirectional texture.
Yes.
So based on our Caribbean design, which is one of our earlier salt models, we did the same thing. So it has two different layers of texture. It's actually made with peel ply texture G10, but then we machine it as well, so you get that secondary, almost kind of a herringbone pattern.
Yeah.
And that's what gives it just super gripability. So if you're using it in and around the water,
Yep.
your hands are wet, your hands are cold, whatever it might be,
Yep.
you're not going to lose your grip on there.
And it's almost so it's like it's angled in a way, and that's why you said bidirectional pattern in two different directions.
Exactly.
That way, when you hold it, it's not going either way out of your hand.
Exactly. No matter what you're doing to use the knife, if you're applying pressure forward with the point or drawing back to cut, it doesn't matter. It brackets your hand and it just locks it into place.
That is really cool. And speaking of the Salt series, you guys employed that MagnaCut across the entire line.
We're incorporating it more and more into our products. This one here, again, what we're taking is extremely popular model, the Para 3. So if you think of this as kind of Glock 19, Glock 26.
Right?
Take that same design, but in the Para 3 lightweight. So our lightweight models really are, they lend themselves really well to the salt application because there's just fewer metal components.
Yep.
So in this case, what you have is a streamlined compression lock mechanism, fiberglass reinforced nylon, injection molded handles, and in this case, you have the bidirectional texturing that is molded in.
Yeah.
So that's a signature of all of our lightweight models. And again, just taking the CPM MagnaCut, supercharging the design with that. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about the Salt series, we do extensive research and development when it comes to the other components on the knife.
Yeah.
So you could take a knife and you say, well, it's got a stainless clip, it's got stainless hardware, we're good to go. One of the things that happens is what's called galvanic corrosion.
Mm-hmm.
So galvanic corrosion, anyone who's ever been around, marine stuff, boats and all that kind of thing, you can have two dissimilar metals that are put into an environment, especially salt water, where now those metals don't like each other.
Yeah.
And one causes the other to corrode.
Yep.
So when you have that type of dynamic and you're going to create a folding knife that includes multiple metal components, you need to make sure everything plays well together. And we have done extensive research and development on that to make sure that all of our component parts are compatible.
That is really cool. And it's very impressive because you guys have been using certain blade steels for your Salt series for a long time.
Yes.
Started H1, LC200N, H2 when it came out. The fact that MagnaCut was able to be incorporated in that line and was good enough to be incorporated in that line really speaks volumes.
Absolutely.
And how you guys feel about it and how the industry feels about it as well.
Yes, and it's one of the things that we did also. When you look at wringing the most out of a steel, especially MagnaCut, when MagnaCut came out, everyone was like, wow, this is really exciting. We were just as excited as everyone else, but we also wanted to make sure we mastered all the technical details of that steel.
Right.
So when you look at the heat treating and everything else, that could have a profound impact on a knife's ability to resist corrosion.
Yeah.
If you get the heat treat wrong, not only could you affect toughness and edge holding and everything else, it also could affect corrosion resistance.
Yeah.
The finish we put on the blade also affects corrosion resistance. So again, we wanted to make sure we dialed all that stuff in. So a lot of people jumped on the MagnaCut bandwagon very early. We took our time and really, in our minds, we did it really right.
Did your homework, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think
it paid off.
I think this award, especially when it comes to the Paramilitary 2 Salt,
Yeah.
this is testament to that.
Absolutely. Now, this one right here, we want to talk about this because this is gorgeous. You guys have been doing this across several different lines with the canvas micarta on the handles.
Yes.
And the CPM fruit wear on the blade steel. To see it in this model with that cross lock there, that is, and the action on this thing is so smooth. Tell us about where this one comes from.
So that is a Manix 2 XL. So what you had was a Manix 2 format. The XL was expanded. Actually, if you look back historically, the original Manix version was about this size. It was scaled down to become the Manix 2, and then we scaled it back up to become the Manix XL. And the Crew Carta, if you will, so that's kind of become the catchphrase for it, Crew Carta, Crew Wear Micarta. That was something that we actually incorporated. Initially, we did a sprint run of a Shaman, and we knew it would be popular. We thought, hey, here's kind of a nice old school combination of, a high performance tool steel and an old school handle material. When that thing came out, it just sold like hotcakes. And there was a lot of people who were disappointed, just like, why didn't you make more? I couldn't get one. So we actually did a second sprint run where we used Z-Wear. So Z-Wear is actually, when you look at the alloy composition, different manufacturer, but essentially a compatible steel.
Yeah.
So the performance on that is going to be compatible to what you get with Crew Wear. That one also sold out. So we realized, hey, we've really struck into something.
Might be onto something here.
Yeah, exactly. And we realized at that point the sprint run format was no longer appropriate. We didn't want to make it so it was such a limited edition that people were missing out.
Yeah.
So we decided to start incorporating that on some of our full production lines, make it a full production version of what we do. So one of the interesting things when you look at this one by design is always going to have full liners on it.
Yeah.
A lot of our other knives have nested liners, but when we do this particular format with the canvas micarta, we always use full liners.
Yeah.
So on the Para 3, on the Paramilitary 2, what you'll see is kind of a unique expression of that particular design because it includes full liners instead of the traditional nested ones.
Right. And the jimping incorporated into those liners make this a very secure knife, a very secure hold.
Absolutely.
I mean, it absolutely works.
And the index finger choil, as you're holding it right there, the ability to choke up. So when you have a big knife, sometimes if you're doing detailed work, you feel like you got a little bit too much blade.
Yep.
Well, all you got to do is get your hand in the right place to be able to control it properly.
And then you can even put your finger out there for really precise cutting. And
Exactly.
It's like an extension of your hand.
Exactly.
And
you have almost that scalpel grip where you can control the depth of cut. You really can do precise work even though it is a large knife.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, everyone on our channel has been talking about this one and anxiously awaiting this puppy right here. This has been one that I think has been the most anticipated this year since we first filmed it at SHOT Show. And so tell us about this one right here.
So that is the Bodacious. So Bodacious, it gets its name from a very famous rodeo bull. It's one of the ones that was really, nobody really ever successfully rode it. So legendary animal, legendary reputation that goes along with that. So what Sal wanted to do was to create a knife that was basically hell for stout, super stout knife that would live up to that kind of reputation. And he had some ideas as far as the way he wanted to do it. Initially, he wanted to include a sophisticated handle texture that replicated the rope that's used on rodeo bulls. Getting that into production was really difficult.
Yeah.
And this project actually kind of stalled out for a little while. When he decided to go back and revisit it, what he did was he took our Shaman model, which is also one of his designs, kind of a scaled up version of the Native, and he said, you know what, this thing is super stout. One thing that people are either love or hate in most cases is that index finger choil. Let's give them a full length cutting edge. Let's remove the choil, use the same basic platform, nice high flat grind, and let's just create something that is a super stout, high performance knife, gives you an outstanding edge geometry, but in a knife of significant size.
Yeah, absolutely.
So some people look at it and dismiss it as, oh, it's a choilless Shaman. Okay, it doesn't have an index finger choil. it's kind of a simple oversimplification.
Right.
You know, there's a lot more going on here. You have smooth G10 handles. The G10 handles on this are also, they're chamfered at the edges, but they give you a nice wide platform.
Yeah.
So that when you grip it, orienting the edge and orienting the plane to the blade is really easy.
Yeah.
Whereas the Shaman has more of the contoured handles.
Right.
And there is no one size fits all. Everyone's hands are a little bit different. So some people may love the Shaman. Some people may pick this up and say, this is my fit. Both of them are literally the same external profile.
Yeah.
But this one, no choil, extended cutting edge, and just phenomenal cutting performance for its size.
Now, when can we expect to see this one hitting store shelves? We've had a ton of people asking, when are you guys going to get this one in?
We actually delivered the first few here at the show, so we brought some here. Those sold out super quickly, as you might imagine. But these are actually, that is a production sample right there, and those are going to start hitting the shelves literally within weeks.
That's awesome.
So the first production run was complete. We brought a few of those here.
You can stop asking me now. It's coming, in literally within the next few weeks.
Yeah, and it is back ordered, so it's going to be one of those. At first, a little bit of ebb and flow.
Right.
We'll get a bunch of them out there. They'll sell out. We'll keep at it, keep picking away, and we'll hit that point where we hit a balance.
Absolutely.
But they are commercially available now.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, Mike. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and appreciate you guys and everything that you do. I can tell you honestly, and this is just, I guess, anecdotally. My nephew is a Marine. Will not carry anything but a Spyderco. Absolutely refuse.
And is he aware of our Op Focus program?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, these things are trusted by military personnel, law enforcement, and there's a reason for that, because you guys have built a great reputation for a phenomenal product. So
we work really hard at that. We also, our way of saying thanks for their service is that program, the Op Focus program. Very deep discount. We believe it's the deepest discount in the knife industry. So anyone who is a active duty law enforcement or military veteran, go to our website, sign up for an account, look into the Op Focus program. Once you're verified, you get 10 knives a year at a super deep discount. And it's our way of thanking them for their service to the country and to their community.
Absolutely. Mike, thank you again. Folks, you saw it here. Tell us what your favorite one is and what you're most excited to see.